Hello and welcome to another episode of CNB Bazaar Buzz. This is Amir Naik, and today we are going to talk a lot about two-wheelers. Actually, the entire episode is about two-wheelers. So let's kickstart things with something that is going to come to India, but we've gone to Spain and ridden it. It's a proper hooligan bike which has the performance and the soul of a sport bike, but has the ergonomics and the chassis of a dirt bike. Well, we are talking about the Ducati Hypermotard 950. It's a replacement to the 939, but well, we've got a chance to ride it. The Ducati Hypermotard is a special bike. Upright riding position with the ergonomics and chassis like that of a dirt bike, but with the performance and soul of a sport bike. And it's built to scorch the streets or even a racetrack. With features like slide-by brake, cornering ABS and wheelie control, the Hypermotard 950 is packed with all the electronics any modern sport bike boasts of. But at heart, it's still what it's best known for. A proper hooligan bike. Pulling wheelies, sliding it around corners, and basically having fun on two wheels.
Now, Ducati's more popular motorcycles in India are the Scrambler, the Monster, and of course the Multistrada range. This, the Hypermotard, hasn't had the kind of success it has had across the world. It's got quite a significant fan following across the world, but in India, it has failed to achieve the success of its siblings. For 2019 though, the Hypermotard gets a new engine, new chassis and suspension, and a state-of-the-art electronics package. And today, we're riding the Hypermotard 950 SP and the Hypermotard 950 in Gran Canaria along this lovely racetrack, and of course in the mountains as well.
We first met the Hypermotard SP, the top spec variant. The difference is primarily in the suspension, and visually it's the gold upside down OHLINS fork which differentiates the SP variant. The wheels are Marchesini Ford wheels, the tires are stickier Pirelli Super CORSA rubber, and the SP gets a standard up-down quick shifter. It's also taller than the standard Hypermotard, and with a seat height of 890mm, it's taller than the Triumph Tiger. But it's also lighter than the standard Hypermotard 950. 3 sessions at a go-kart track right on the Atlantic, and it's apparent that the level of performance the Hypermotard packs is not for the faint-hearted or for newbie riders. You will need skill and experience to truly enjoy what the Hypermotard offers.
The engine makes 114 bhp of power and 96 Nm of torque, and over 80% of the torque comes in at as low as 3000 rpm. What that means in the real world is, with a little throttle input, this thing really pulls. Now this one's available for 2019 two variants. This one is the standard Hypermotard 950, same engine, same electronics package, and this one is the Hypermotard 950 SP. The difference of course is in the suspension primarily. This one's got OHLINS suspension, fully adjustable. This one's got Suzuki suspension in the front and Sachs monoshock in the rear, and of course the wheels are different.
On the road too, the Hypermotard 950 doesn't disappoint. It's engaging to ride and is quite entertaining, especially on a twisty mountain road. But the upright riding position and the lack of any wind protection doesn't make it ideal for a long day, long ride on the highway. The Ducati Hypermotard 950 has a focused purpose, designed for fun. If it's thrill on two wheels you're looking for, the Hypermotard will not disappoint. But its focused purpose also makes it a niche motorcycle, best as a second motorcycle rather than a primary do-it-all package. And that's why it may not be as popular as its siblings in India. We absolutely cannot wait for the bike to come to India because it's a proper hooligan bike, as Preetham said. Well, talking about bikes, well, let's move on to scooters. We have already spoken a lot about them, and that 125cc segment is growing like crazy. And there are so many new introductions, and right from the Aprilia to even the TVS NTorq 125, which we think is the best in that lot. But now there's a new one, and Hero has brought in the Destini 125cc, and that takes on the TVS NTorq. Which one wins this battle? Well, check our review.
Two scooters, each the flagship from the brand it represents. On one hand is the edgy and trendy TVS NTorq 125, and the other one is the Hero Destini 125, the latest 125cc scooter in the market. And both these are targeted at the rapidly growing 125cc scooter segment, offering more power for the performance-conscious scooter buyer. But both have very distinctive design.
Now, Hero MotoCorp has been slightly conservative about the styling of the Destini 125. It's not radical, it's not nothing entirely new that you see in the streets so far. The rear portion actually reminds you of the 110cc Hero Duet, and overall the silhouette is nothing out of the extraordinary. It looks like any other 110cc scooter that you see in the streets. And the front side, well, it bears a resemblance to some other scooters also, doesn't it? So overall it's a nice looking scooter, but the design isn't something extraordinary or radical or something which will immediately grab your attention. But when you look at the TVS NTorq, it's edgy, stylish and completely out of the box. This thing looks nothing at all like any other scooter that you see in the streets. And it looks sporty with those flamboyant creases and those graphics. And that makes the NTorq, at least to my mind, a better looking scooter overall than a Destini 125.
One look at the Destini 125 and you'll realize that this is a scooter designed for the entire family, sort of a one-size-fits-all, if you will. It's got a full metal body, but the front apron design will remind you of a 110cc scooter from another brand, while the rear is quite similar to Hero's very own Duet, down to the large indicators and taillight cluster. The NTorq 125, on the other hand, has a radical new design. It's sharp, youthful and trendy. Not exactly a design for the entire family, but if it's presence you're seeking, the NTorq certainly has it covered. Clearly, the NTorq 125 is targeted at a more youthful audience, and its long list of features including a segment-first Bluetooth connectivity, which even offers turn-by-turn navigation.
Now in terms of features, both these scooters are almost equally matched. Almost, because this one, the Destini 125, has a couple of unique features. The switchgear more or less same quality, and this one comes with a unique idle start-stop system. That's the switch here. What it does is, when you stop at a red light and the engine is idling for 5 seconds or more, it will automatically cut off. All you need to do is press the brake lever and open the throttle and the engine will automatically start. Another good feature on the Destini 125 is this, the multifunction ignition key. All you need to do is, and you can open the seat from there itself. Of course, there's an external fuel filler cap also, which is very handy because you don't need to get off from the bike when you're filling fuel at a fuel station. Apart from that, you have these hooks to carry knickknacks, quite a generous amount of footboard space to carry groceries or a bag if you want to. In terms of under-seat storage, it's adequate, yes, but maybe not enough to store a full face helmet, but you can of course store a small bag or two. Destini of course also gets a part analog, part digital speedometer. It's got a fuel gauge, it's got trip meter, it's got an odometer, but this part, and it's got a handy side stand indicator as well. But this part analog, part digital speedometer doesn't quite look very modern. Comparatively, when you come to the NTorq, that seems more better equipped in terms of features. You have again a single multifunction key here. Switchgear quality is quite nice. This whole cockpit area is quite nice, and you've got a completely futuristic full digital speedometer panel, and of course you get a Smart Connect app also, which provides, you connect your phone to the console. It gives you turn-by-turn navigation as well. But what the NTorq misses is a remote seat release from the ignition key. For that, you have to take out the key and go behind and open it from here. Same goes for the fuel filler cap as well. But this one has slightly more under-seat storage, so you can store more stuff on the NTorq than on the Destini 125. So Destini 125 has got slightly more better features and handy features, but it's the NTorq in terms of gadgets which is better equipped.
On the move, both scooters offer the extra punch expected from a 125cc scooter. Both the Destini 125 and the NTorq 125 are almost evenly matched in terms of output and engine specifications. But it's immediately apparent that it's the TVS which feels more eager and accelerates faster too. It's also more stable and likes being ridden hard, and has a higher top speed as well. The Destini 125 isn't as quick off the bat, and it also feels a little bouncy compared to the TVS. In terms of ride quality and handling, is the TVS which comes out trumps and remains planted and offers superb stability and handling even at high speeds.
Now both these scooters have 125cc engines, so these have better top end than the conventional 110cc scooters. So you have more pulling power. When you're two up, you're going up a flyover, both these scooters pull cleanly and eagerly. The Destini of course is a 2-valve engine, and it makes slightly less power than the NTorq. But this one is slightly more fuel efficient as well. Both these scooters will give you about 42-45 kilometers per liter. But the NTorq, with its more power, you end up winging a throttle open, and that results in less fuel economy. You always want to keep it boiling, the engine. And the 3-valve engine is smoother on the NTorq as well. But more than that, the 10-inch wheels on the Destini don't give you the level of confidence the 12-inch wheels on the NTorq gives. Plus, this one doesn't come with a disc brake, but this one has a disc brake, so better stopping power on the NTorq.
To sum up, in pure performance terms, it's the TVS which comes out on top. Although the Destini 125 isn't far behind, it just isn't as engaging to ride as the NTorq is. And with its edgy futuristic styling, the TVS also manages to look different and attractive. But where the Hero scores is in its universal appeal. Every member of the family, regardless of age and sex, will find the Destini's design appealing. And at over just 54,000 rupees for the base LX version, it is also the most affordable 125cc scooter available in the market right now. But if it's style, substance and performance you're looking for, it's the NTorq 125 which should be the obvious choice, even if it's at a slight price premium.
Well, that 125cc segment is certainly heating up, and with more choices coming in from manufacturers, it's going to be definitely a tough ask when it comes to the number of scooters and also the number of features that are on offer. However, this one we clearly showed you a winner, and after that we take a break, and on the other side there's a new bike altogether coming to the Indian market. Check it out. Welcome back to Car and Bike Bazaar Buzz, and after showing you all of that, let's move on to a new bike that has been launched in India. It's called the TRK 502. It's from Benelli, yes, under the Mahavir Group now, and they have started a new innings with this bike. The TRK 502 comes in two variants, the 502 and the 502X. And it was launched at quite a surprising price. Well, we have all the details for you right from the launch event.
Italian motorcycle maker Benelli has been in India for a while now, but while its operations were shut for some time, the company is back in action in the Indian motorcycle market with a new partner and an all-new bike. Well, behind me is the TRK 502, its new adventure tourer for India, and the company is all set to revive its operations all across the country. Let's take a look at what the TRK 502 is all about. The Benelli TRK 502 is a 500cc adventure tourer, and at that displacement, it is the only motorcycle in the country right now. Well, what you get for a 500cc is a large motorcycle at that. The design is something that is very likable. It is similar to a number of Italian bikes that we've seen, and the adventure tourer comes with a beak-like front fender, a large windscreen, and the twin headlamps, which look really nice. There are two versions on offer. There's the 502 and the 502X, and the X version is obviously the more off-road spec version. It gets bigger tires and 19-inch wheel up front, 18-inch wheel at the rear. You also get knobbier tires and spoked wheels as opposed to alloy wheels on the standard version. What I also like is the fact that it gets LED indicators and tail light, while the headlamps themselves are halogens. You do get DRLs as well, and well, you get a semi-digital instrument console which packs in as much as information as you would want on a motorcycle like this one. Well, it does tip scale at 235 kg, which is slightly heavier than what you would want for an adventure motorcycle of this capacity to be. But speaking of which, the 500cc parallel twin engine makes about 47 bhp of power and 46 Nm of torque, and this motor is paired with a 6-speed gearbox. You also get a hydraulic clutch to make the clutch action a little more easier. What you also get in this motorcycle is 50mm USD forks up front and a monoshock setup at the rear, and the long travel suspension is intended to give you maximum comfort and rideability while on the move. The braking power includes 320mm disc brakes at the front and a 260mm disc brakes at the rear. You only get ABS, which is the only electronic aid on the TRK 502 and 502X. 502 will compete against a host of other adventure motorcycles in this segment. This includes the Kawasaki VERSYS 650, V-STROM from Suzuki, and even the SWM Super Dual T, which are around the displacement of 650cc. Well, at the other end of that spectrum, you have the Kawasaki's X300 VERSYS, you have the Royal Enfield Himalayan and the BMW P10 GS. Well, the 502 is priced at ₹5 lakhs, that's an introductory price, whereas the 502X is priced at ₹5,40,000. Well, both these motorcycles are available at showrooms right now, and bookings are available online as well.
Well, that's it for this episode of CNB Bazaar Buzz. Hope you enjoyed that. If you have any feedback to give us, do call out to us on our social handles. That's on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and even on YouTube. And if you want all the detailed reviews of whatever we showed today, well, log on to www.carandbike.com and you'll have all the details there. Well, until next week, of course, if you're driving, always wear a seatbelt. And if you're riding, always wear a helmet, even if you're a pillion. That's it. See you. Goodbye.